How great the robe of liberation, a formless field of merit. Wrapping ourselves in Buddhist teaching, we feel all living beings. And though I thus liberate all beings, not a single being is liberated.
Incense chant.
Precepts, incense, liberation of use incense. Cloud of lighted incense pouring into the Dharma realms. Offering to the highest teachers of the 10 directions, I respectfully bow to the altar of the incense cloud. Bodhisattva. Oh. Yeah. Click 2 times.
Chant of compassion. We surround all forms of life with infinite love and compassion. Especially do we send out compassionate thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to those in doubt and ignorance, to all who are striving to attain truth, and to those whose feet stand close to the great change called death. We send forth all wisdom, mercy, and love. May the infinite light of wisdom and compassion so shine within us, that the errors and vanities of self may be dispelled. So shall we understand the changing nature of existence, and awaken into spiritual peace. Oh, refuges.
I take refuge in the Buddha.
I take refuge in the Buddha.
I take refuge in the Dharma.
I take refuge in the Dharma.
I take refuge in the Sangha.
I take refuge in the Sangha. The 5 precepts.
I take up the practice of not harming living beings.
I take up the practice of not harming living beings.
I will not take what is not offered.
I will not take what is not offered.
I will not misuse sexuality or sensuality.
I will not misuse sexuality or sensuality.
I will practice gentle, truthful speech.
I will practice gentle, truthful speech.
I will not deal in nor misuse intoxicants.
I will not deal in nor misuse intoxicants. The Buddha Sarangamagata. True nature is free from all phenomena, which are illusions by causes created phenomena, neither rise nor fall, but all phenomena are flowers in the sky. The unreal reveals the real. Those are but illusions, since there is nothing real or unreal. How can there be a subject and an object, or between the two there is no true nature, like the point where two Russian bundles meet when set upright, tying and untying from the same cause arise, while the saintly and the worldly are non-dual. Consider underlying nature at the point of meeting, where both is and is not, cannot be. If you disregard it, you are in illusion. If you just being, then there is nothing real if what is not illusion ceases to arise. Where can illusion be? This is the profound lotus Dharma, the precious Bodhi of the royal gem, the samadhi of seeing all things as illusion, which in a finger snap leads to the state beyond all study, the unsurpassed doctrine was followed by all Bhagavats in all directions on the one path that to nirvana leads.
So happy Memorial Day weekend. Tomorrow is the Memorial Day holiday, and like I do every year, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the holiday and just put in our minds to appreciate what the holiday means and what it represents. For those on YouTube that might be watching this from another country, Memorial Day is a day in which we remember and appreciate fallen service members. So one of the pillars, right, of our country is the freedom of religion, is to not be persecuted for practicing any kind of religion. And while in Buddhism we don't practice worship, and it's technically not a religion in that sense, the freedom of religion still pertains to us, still protects us, and allows us to practice freely. And it's really important to remember that and to acknowledge that we would not be able to practice freely without that freedom and without those people who sacrificed their lives in order to defend those freedoms. So I encourage everybody tomorrow or today, just whenever it comes to mind, to reflect and appreciate and just kind of acknowledge to yourself that that's the reason why we can practice together openly. The idea of freedom is an interesting topic because in terms of the freedom to practice religion, it's kind of in the context of we're not going to be persecuted for practicing our religion. But in the Buddhist sense, it can be applied much more broadly. In our practice, freedom really is choice. It really is the practice of the mind so that we're not being dragged around by our thoughts and by our feelings. So we can choose what we think, and we can choose what we feel. And what I mean by choose is those thoughts that we don't want to have, thoughts that are unproductive. Through our practice, we can diminish them. We can diminish them to the point that they no longer arise out of compulsion. So that when we look at things that might trigger us, when we look at things that might create a feeling, instead of just jumping straight to feeling a certain way or thinking a certain way, we can choose to either let that thought arise or not to let it arise through our practice. And so in that sense, Buddhism gives us a broad freedom to choose what we think and what we feel, how we react to things, right? And so, like for instance, I know that I struggle with large groups, large crowds. And a lot of times, in supermarkets, there are a lot of large crowds, people that might not be aware of their surroundings. And maybe you'll go down an aisle where someone's blocking half the aisle with their cart, or there's a group of people that spread out across the aisle blocking traffic. And Buddhism gives me the opportunity to watch for those unproductive thoughts of annoyance, of maybe like, you shouldn't be blocking the aisle, of thoughts like, you're so not aware. I really just need to get through. Maybe thoughts of claustrophobia, thoughts that I'm trapped now. I just need to get out of here. Buddhism allows me to take those thoughts and diminish them. And the way that we diminish those thoughts is with Supreme Bodhi. And so our practice, of course, is to take maybe that thought of, I need to get out of here, and identify that it's unproductive. And then maybe take another sense object, I always like to use things that are very universal, like the floor is flat. It has to be something that you can actively sense right in this moment. And we want to stick to really simple attributes about whatever we're, trying to use as a sense object. So I might say the floor is flat. I might say it's brown, and here it's brown. And then I might say that it's shiny. And in the time it takes for those three attributes to list off very simply, it loosens your grip on the thought of, I need to get out of here. And if you continue to use those really simple attributes of the things that you can sense around you, you'll notice that you can only hold one thought at a time. So what starts to happen is you start to go, I need to get out of here, and the floor is flat. And then maybe that thought still lingers, I need to get out of here. And then the floor is brown. And what you'll start to notice is it loosens it up so that you can have one thought diminish, and then a period of quiet with no thought arising, and then the thought of the floor is flat arising. And that quiet spot between the diminishment of one thought and the arising of the other thought is Supreme Bodhi. That is our practice. And in that window, as we develop that window of quietness, therein lies the choice. So that when I encounter that, again, where someone's blocking the aisle, where I feel inconvenienced or trapped. Working with those thoughts, working on diminishing them, eventually the thought of I need to get out of here just won't arise again, because I have dealt with it and resolved it enough times. And then I can choose to be peaceful and not need any thought to arise, not need to have an emotional reaction or any reaction to somebody blocking my way. And in that way, it gives freedom. And so Buddhist practice really is the ultimate freedom in that sense, because it gives each one of us control over our own thoughts, feelings, reactions, our own perception of the world around us. And we can choose to be more skillful. And so as we think about what freedom means to us, it can mean multiple different things. And we can have the appreciation for the men and women that have defended our freedoms. And we can also practice what freedom means on that more, internal level, the more Buddhist level as it pertains to Supreme Bodhi. And both can be true and both can be practiced. So that concludes my Dharma talk for today.
Closing Gata. Let me respectfully remind you, life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly and opportunity is lost. Each of us should strive to awaken. Awaken, take heed, do not squander your life. Offering of merit. May the merit of this penetrate into each thing in all places, so that we and every sentient being together can realize the Buddha's way. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, experience supreme Bodhi.
Okay, and that concludes our Sunday service for this week. I'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.